Hello, this is Dylan Barry. This is the Music Industry Talks, and I have some very established and amazing guests on the show today. I got Mr. DJ Swivel, the producer, mixer, works with BTS, Beyonce, Chainsmokers, Kanye, just a few artists you may have heard of. We got Christian Skjølstrup on the show, CEO of Glass Music, A&R consultant for Universal Music Group, also manages some of Denmark's biggest artists and producers. Also, we have one of the most exciting emerging artists coming out of LA right now, getting a massive buzz. Mr. J-Ham is in the house today as well. Swivel, we just did a big song camp together. It was a great experience. I know you're doing a lot in the business right now. What's one of the most exciting things that you're working on right now?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm always writing and producing and, of course, mixing records. Probably the most exciting thing this year is I've gotten into, like, plugins and sample packs, so actually building product. So, you know, sort of starting a software company has been a bit of a challenge, but we have our first product out. We have another product coming very soon, and then another one on the heels of that next one. So by the end of the year, there'll probably be at least 3 software products and probably 3 to 5 sample packs.
Tell us a little bit about what that model is like. I mean, how do you make money with your beat packs and with the plugins?
It's just like starting any new business. There's some investment that goes into, you know, research and development and of course marketing and promotion. Once you have a product that's useful, like connecting the dots to distributors and influencers and, you know, all the people who can help like create exposure. But it's nice because it's a business that is not built around solely my time. Whereas, you know, there's only so many hours in the day to mix a record. But while I'm sleeping, I can sell as many plugins as people would like to buy. It's definitely different than building a purely talent-based business, but there are a lot of similarities in how you market yourself and how you promote yourself and things like that.
What's the name? What are the name of the plugins so people can find them?
First product that we released is called The Sauce, and you can just get it at djswivel.com. It's sort of a multi-effects tool. It's got pitch and formant shifting, distortion, chorus, flanger, reverbs, delays, stereo imagers, and it's all multi-band. So you can take all those tools and split them and manipulate them and alter them differently for your low, mid, and high band. And of course, you have crossovers to set those.
Christian, can you tell us a little bit about what your life is like these days?
I've been trying to take this whole Corona situation and look at it in a positive way to give me time and to think about how we want to work from here on out. Seeing like suddenly starting to work with people all over the world in a way more easy way because people are like getting more used to going in on these Zooms and stuff. So now I work with people in LA that I've been doing the whole time, but way more efficiently. But now we started doing things in China with our catalog, the songs that we represent and own, working really closely with France now on one of our DJ projects and stuff. So I've been actively trying to meet people in here in cyberspace, like whatever you want to call it, and focus on what is it that we want to do, and that is like focusing on developing talent, which we're really, really good at.
I think it's crazy that there's all these new markets you could explore, right? I mean, another example of an artist over in Denmark that's done really well in Asia and in Southeast Asia is Christopher. And he's largely broken the normal model, which is you break locally and then you spread out. He's gone there and done personal appearances, done small showcases and things, and really met people face to face. Hard to do right now, but really built a very big following there. So J-Ham is an independent artist, man. You've got a lot of traction in Hollywood right now. You're building a new act, a new situation, but you're getting a lot of buzz. What are you doing that's getting you in front of all these record labels and people are, you know, getting hype on your stuff?
And we've been doing really good. You know, just being innovative in a time like this is important. It kind of rocked everybody off of their feet a little bit, off of their toes, which I think was great because it was a new form of learning and everybody was moving the same way and consistently. And it was nice to have to figure that out. You know, not everybody has the crack the code, the answer, you know, that's just being honest, you know, I had a lot of help also from my producer, Trey, right? You know, he's very well with being able to handle a situation of change. So we kind of just really sat down and looked at it from the outside in and was kind of like, you know, what did we fall in love with music for? And what do we really do it for? And let's figure that out and get back to square one.
So Swivel, you've worked with a lot of artists, from artists that weren't exposed at all to the biggest artists in the world, BTS right now. What do you think are some key ingredients that musicians can deploy to reach success right now in these times?
Maybe I'm just old school in my thinking, but I just think great music with great branding wins. And there is that X factor that like certain artists have something special about them. When you see them, when you hear them speak, when you see an interview, when any content goes out, you know, I've always said there's plenty of artists who are super duper talented, more talent in their pinky than I've ever seen in my entire life, but may not be quite as interesting or have the personality of an artist. And then you have somebody who may not be as talented, but is just like a really compelling figure. Of course, there are things that you can do to build exposure, but ultimately nothing is going to trump a great song paired with like a great person, like somebody who's interesting. And interesting comes in so many different forms, right? When you're sort of looking at an artist, like you can tell when it feels genuine and honest, and you can tell when it feels like they're reaching for something. They're trying to manufacture some sort of thing here, a little exposure, maybe whatever it is. Two actually great examples from the last like 3-4 years, like Cardi B. Is she the most talented lyricist ever? Probably not. But she's so honest. She's so compelling. I want her to win. One of the more recent ones, especially over the last couple of years and this past year, Billie Eilish. She goes in, she makes music with her brother, small team. They try to be original and innovative. And I think the music is, and the way she delivers her vocals and the subdued production and the whispery vocal thing and the way they stack it. There's something unique there. But then when you also listen to her speak, she's unapologetically Billie. She doesn't try to do what every other girl on Instagram is doing or what every other artist over here is doing. She just is who she is. And it just feels honest. So I think that more than anything is the thing that's going to make people win. I don't think that changes whether there's a pandemic or not.
I think the pandemic makes it even more important to figure out what kind of artist you are, because there's so many songs being released every week. So, you know, the most important thing is that, as you're saying, that you figure out as an artist who you are and what you stand for. And you can see that it's these artists who lets the audience into their universe, like through their social media and like whatever they can do now on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Like you wanna, if you become a fan of Cardi B, if you like whatever, through her social media, and even though it feels like she's just saying whatever, it still has like a pretty specific theme or an idea of who she is and what she stands for all the time. And I think it's a balance between like being yourself and not playing a role on social media, but still also figuring out like who is it I am as an artist and what is it that I stand for and what is it I want to show my fans or potential new fans.
And I think it's really cool that artists like, you know, we got J-Ham on right now. J-Ham lives in a very diverse world, right? You've got a diverse relationship. You got mixed kids. You got music that spans multiple genres. You really have been redefining a lot of these different things that used to be in the music industry. People had to put you in a box. You say whatever you want to say. And if it's authentic to you, you're going to get heard, you know?
People talk about that all the time. People want to be in your life. They want to cling to what's fun, what they enjoy. You know, there are a lot of people that, you know, music makes this very nostalgic for them or just makes them feel, that's the big word nowadays, mood, you know? Like, I love how he tapped in on Cardi B. Like, Cardi B is a great example, you know? Like, if you're genuine, it's there. The longevity will last, you know, especially in personality, you know?
And by the way, that extends beyond music. When you look at athletes, for example, the way that talented athletes break in the UFC is no different. Yeah, you got to be able to win. Your music has to be good. You have to be able to win a fight. But also, just because you win, it doesn't mean people care about you. There's somebody like a Conor McGregor who is so compelling as a personality. You can't help but root for him. And then you have other people who are like incredibly talented fighters, and not everybody has that compelling personality that draws you in. And then you can also tell when people are trying to put on a show. that's fake.
Right.
It doesn't feel real, and it feels kind of cringy, and you're like, yeah, I don't really like that. We can tell when something is real and when somebody's putting on a show. And we want authenticity. We want realness.
I think it's across the board in humans, period. And I think that the authenticity allows you to live in a place you're comfortable with and excel at it. People are like, how do I make it in the music industry? I'm like, be comfortable in the world that you want to live in and build a world around where you're comfortable, and then challenge yourself to be as good as you possibly can within the strengths and skill sets you have. A lot of people don't. They want to emulate what they see, which is herd mentality. It's a human fallacy. We all have it. We all kind of have this, oh, well, they like it, I should like it too. Artists inherently challenge the herd mentality every day just to express themselves. And that's what drove me towards music. And I think that's cool. Let's just say a couple more things about, maybe some new technologies that it can allow people to reach more fans. Let's say, Christian, what would you say are the top 2 right now that should be focused on?
TikTok is definitely the thing that's blowing up. It's like you can't make the big playlist without going up the different playlists and all that as a new artist. But the only thing that overrules it is if something gets huge on TikTok, then Spotify playlists it like on all the top playlists. Officially, they've told the labels and stuff that they're really looking at TikTok, and if something blows up at TikTok, they will add it directly. So that's where I think, unless that you are an artist that don't know how to act on that social media, then that's where you should put a lot of your energy into to making a strong profile on that specific social media side. And of course, Instagram is still big too.
I've got a question about TikTok. How do you get people to start doing choreographed dances and doing things to your song? I mean, how do you market that?
I'll say, of course, there's a big spend from the labels saying, okay, we have this song, we take these 29 seconds that are great in the song, and we can feel like kids would have a relation to this, and then we give it to a lot of TikTok influencers and we give them a dance, and then they do the whatever challenge, and then hopefully they get their followers to do the dance, and then it grows like that.
They spend money on the influencers to
a
start.
lot of money. Like the labels will put in a TikTok budget in all the releases now.
Do you know how significant that budget is these days? How much they're valuing that?
If it's the A-list artist of the world, it's probably thousands and thousands of dollars. I would say in percentages, if you have at least if you have a very pop release that is where young people are important as new followers and potential fans, at least they would spend like half the marketing budget on just influencers and TikTok advertising.
Crazy world. Mr. DJ Swivel, what do you think about Twitch? Do you think Twitch carries any water? Twitch music? I know it's been coming up a little bit lately.
I did just install the Twitch app just because I was curious. I'm still shocked that kids want to just watch other kids play video games.
But this is an interesting generational thing that people should understand. I've got 2 young kids, right, that are in that zone. They feel almost as much stimulation watching other people play as playing it themselves, right? And it's the same thing like when people watch sports, they feel like they're somehow a part of like catching the ball in the end zone, right? I think that the important thing to take away from this is I don't get that. I'm like you, Swivel, give me the controller. What am I sitting here watching you play for? This sucks. You know what I mean? But when you're creating music and marketing for the next generation, understand that inclusive voyeuristic approach actually resonates with your fan base. But it's an interesting way to make money without actually touring and being physically present. So it is something I would consider looking into if you have the fan base to support it. All right, y'all. I really appreciate everybody being on the show. I got Christian Skjølstrup on here from Glass Music. DJ Swivel's worked with some of the biggest artists in the world. Mr. J-Ham is a rapidly rising emerging artist. And you can find all of them on the internet. My name is Dylan Berry. This is Music Industry Talks. Thanks for being a part of it. And you support your local musicians. Okay.